Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. This is an exciting video for me because today marks 1 year since I started my YouTube channel. I thought it could be fun maybe each year to do a video like this where maybe I reflect back on the last year, talk to you guys about what I've learned. Maybe you're interested in starting your own YouTube channel, maybe talk about the goals that I have for the next year, and see if I actually have a YouTube channel still a year from now. First, I want to talk about why I became interested in potentially starting a YouTube channel. So I have always had a passion for bags and shoes and fashion and things like that. And knowing myself, I know that if I go into a store and I'm really interested in a bag, I might get caught up in the beauty of the bag. Of course, the salesperson's job is to try to sell the bag to me. And so getting caught up sometimes in the excitement of the experience, I might not always make the most rational choice. I might feel pressured to buy a bag. And so I really decided that before I bought something so expensive, I wanted to do research on it on the internet and just know everything about the bag going into it so that if I did make the purchase, especially such an expensive one, I knew I was making the right one for me. So that led me to bag reviews on these bags on YouTube. Maybe I could see what fit in the bag, maybe I could see the pros and cons of the bag, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. Sometimes seeing these videos, there were issues raised about certain items that I had never thought of before and were really good points. And the more that I watched these videos, I realized that this could be something I might be interested in doing myself. I come from an acting background where I've mainly worked in a lot of commercials, so I'm used to being on camera. I also, in my 9-to-5 career, worked in content distribution. So I've really had experience on camera and maybe more in the business side to see how things worked there. And I thought that this could be a really good fit for me, maybe just in the sense of a hobby, but even later down the road, it could be a career. And I really started realizing that a lot of people were making careers on YouTube, and it was very interesting for me. And maybe that's something that you find interesting as well. So this time that I was thinking about this was really around 2018, 2019. And I remember I was specifically looking for videos on the YSL wallet on chain, which I did end up purchasing, and I have since been very happy with it. It was a great purchase for me. And I realized that these videos could be very informative and helpful. There were several things that held me back from starting immediately though, and I want to go over what those were. So number one was fear of judgment from other people, maybe my family, maybe my friends, and people not understanding what it was that I was doing. I was raised in a family where, it's very rude to talk about money. You don't share how much money you spend, you don't share how much money you make. Finances, things like that are kept very private, and that's just the way that I grew up. So there was the fear of judgment in that aspect. Are people going to make fun of me if they see that this is what I'm doing? Another thing that really concerned me was trolls. I mean, when we're on the internet, and I think it's probably happened to many people, we all get mean comments from time to time, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you just have an Instagram account or a TikTok. I see it all the time on TikTok. I feel like right now, TikTok is probably one of the most toxic social media apps. I feel like for some reason on TikTok, people just feel really open and free to be mean to others. So that was something that held me back, was the fear of just people being mean to me, people that I don't know. Maybe they're going to comment on my body or comment on something that I can't help, bash me for whatever reason. And all of these worries at the time just kind of made me realize that at this specific time in my life, I was in a very vulnerable place mentally and emotionally. My mom had just been diagnosed with a terminal illness. She was diagnosed with advanced pancreatic cancer, and November is actually Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. So I'll leave some links and resources down in the description box in case you're interested in learning more about pancreatic cancer. Maybe this has affected your life or you know somebody going through it. But yeah, my mom was going through that. I was also going through health issues myself at the time, which were very scary and also were changing my body in a lot of ways. And anytime we go through changes like that with our bodies, it can really affect us mentally and emotionally. And I knew that I just wasn't in a place to start something like that and open myself to more vulnerability. But as time moved on, I was kind of able to kind of move past all of those fears. And coming from that acting background that I mentioned earlier, one of the things that you have to work through is, your super ego, that voice inside of your head that criticizes you and makes you worry that everybody is staring at you or making fun of you. And you really have to move past that so that you can bring characters to life. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is Jenna Ortega and her performance of Wednesday on her new Netflix show. A lot of people online have been either making fun of or appreciating her dance moves as Wednesday. And as an actor, you can't really worry about what other people are going to think of you, if they're going to think you look silly or things like that, because then you won't be able to bring the character to life in the way that it deserves to be brought to life and the way that you deserve and should play it. And because of acting, I kind of have developed a thicker skin over the years. I'm used to rejection. Of course, it's a very different sort of rejection in the sense that if you don't book a role, you just never hear back. You normally don't have somebody bashing your performance or anything like that. No one's calling you to say, Laura, you sucked in that audition. None of that. So it is different in that sense. But being online, there is that added element of people might be mean to you. But I kind of realized that at the end of the day, people who are mean for no reason are hiding behind their phone, their keyboard, things like that, and they don't really matter in your life, do they? I mean, these people aren't paying your bills, they're not taking care of you, they don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. And if somebody's going to be mean to me about my body, I have to be comfortable enough in my own skin and love myself to not let that matter. And that's what I decided to do. I decided to just love myself despite the changes that I was going through and, not let fear hold me back from something that I was really interested in trying. And it's funny because before I actually posted my first video on YouTube, I filmed a couple of them that I just never was comfortable posting. I kind of hated them. They were, very disorganized. You could tell that I was extremely nervous in what I was doing. And so I did do a couple of videos before I felt comfortable enough with one to post it. I'll link that video up above, but I believe it was an unboxing of a bag. I think it might have even been my trendy CC, but I'm not entirely sure. And I recorded that video when I was home alone. There was no one here. And I posted it one night before I went to bed. And I just was like so nervous. And I just was like, upload, went to sleep, didn't want to think about it. And then the next morning I woke up and I checked and there were actually what I consider to be a lot of views. I kind of thought that I'd post it and nobody would ever really look at it. No one would really be interested in it. So then when I woke up and there were views, it did give me some encouragement to continue and do another video. And I kind of continued that way until maybe mid-January. I didn't tell anybody that I started a YouTube channel. I kept it very secret. Whenever my husband was at work, that's when I would record videos, edit, and upload them because it was something that I wanted to keep to myself and decide if it was something that I really wanted to continue. And when I did start getting the views and the encouragement from them, I decided that it was something that I wanted to continue doing. And so at that point, I did tell my husband about the channel and he was really excited for me. He thought it was a great fit for me. So that was nice to share it with him. And it did take me a while to start sharing it with family and friends. It was just something that I wanted to keep to myself in the beginning and not really have any, outside voices influencing my choices or my excitement about the channel. One of the questions that people wonder a lot about YouTube channels usually centers around monetization and making money from the channel. And the first thing that I will say is if your only goal in starting a YouTube channel is to make money, you may want to rethink it or at least give it a longer timeline because in the beginning, you're not going to make any money. And then when you do start to make money, it's not going to be a whole lot. So the first way that people usually make money from YouTube is going to be through ad revenue. And this is from the ads that YouTube plays at the beginning of your videos. Now, in the beginning, you don't get any cut from those ads. What you have to do is you have to get 1,000 4,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours before you're eligible for monetization. This is changing a little bit in terms of shorts. They're coming out with new criteria so that you can get monetized if you're only creating shorts. So there are a few different ways to reach this goal. But for me at the time, it was just long form videos. And again, my first video was posted November 30th. I was eligible for monetization in July. For some people, they reached this monetization goal a lot quicker than others. Once I was eligible for monetization, I had to wait to get an email from YouTube and apply. Once I applied, they said it could take up to, I think, a month to get approved. They look at your channel, make sure it qualifies for monetization. And really, I think I got that email on a Friday, and by Monday, I was approved. The other way that I monetize my channel is through affiliate links. Now, these are the links that you see below, and not every link that I share is an affiliate link. And what an affiliate link is basically if a retailer participates in an affiliate program and you use that program to link to their product, it will track any sales that come from that link. And then the creator may earn a small commission. The commissions are generally small, and the percentage for each commission can vary from retailer to retailer, but it is something that can add up, so it is worth adding affiliate links to your channel. Now, the positive thing about the affiliate links is that the buyer, the person clicking on the link and buying something using it, they're not going to pay anything on top of what they normally would have paid for that product, so it doesn't cost your viewers anything to use the affiliate links, and it benefits the retailers because they're making a sale for a product that maybe they might not have made before you brought attention to it. So apart from ad revenue and affiliate links, people also get sponsored videos. I'm still a very, very small channel. I think right now I have 1,652 subscribers, so I'm not really in the sponsorship game at the moment. I have had people reach out to me with sponsorship offers and wanting to send me products in exchange for me talking about them on my videos, but for the most part, they haven't been a good fit for my channel. You know, I am not going to start talking about bras all of a sudden when that really doesn't fit the theme, or colored contacts when I don't wear colored contacts. Another one that I get a lot of is replica bags. No matter what your opinions are on replica bags, they're just not something that I support for various reasons, and I feel like that could be an entire video in and of itself. And it's not a judgment if you do use replica bags. It's just, for me personally, it's not something that I use, so I don't want to go off topic or talk about things that aren't a good fit for my channel. There's also things like super thanks, and I think if you go live, there are ways that you can monetize as well. I think you can also offer memberships on your YouTube channel. Those are not things that I'm really doing right now, and you know, don't send me money down below. I please by no means am asking you to do that. But for me, the way that I monetize this channel is just through the ad revenue stream and affiliate links. I would like to do sponsorships in the future, only if it's something that fits my channel theme and is actually something that I would recommend to you guys anyway without being paid to talk about it. So for the pros and cons, the YouTube channel is something that I enjoy doing. I do like creating content. It's quite flexible. You can create videos on your own time and at your own pace and schedule. It also gives me an outlet for being creative, which is something that I like as well. The only part that I don't enjoy as much would probably be the editing part. The editing can be a little bit tedious and time consuming depending on how much editing I need to do. It could take me anywhere from 20-30 minutes to edit video to a couple of hours. You know, all of those videos that I insert bags in the corners or I do overlays, things like that, those would be more time consuming than a video that doesn't have that. And I do think eventually a lot of YouTubers will outsource their editing when it's something that their channel can afford them to do. So I don't think I'm alone in having editing be my least favorite part of the job, but honestly, for my least favorite thing of the job, it's really not that bad. Now, the cons really just have been, you know, the occasional mean comment, but I've really only had a couple this whole entire year. I hope it stays that way. I'm sure as I get more subscribers and more views that could change and maybe increase. For the most part, people have been really nice and supportive on YouTube there are a few of you that have been watching my videos from the very start, like Elisa and Zara, and if I don't mention your name but you have been here from the start, you know, thank you so much for being with me from the beginning. You don't know how much it means to me. It was so nice to get like my first positive and supportive comments, and they really made me feel good. So I hope that that's something that stays. And honestly, for the couple of mean comments that I have gotten, it hasn't been that bad. Like, it's just, I recognize that it's more of a them problem than a me problem, you know what I mean? And for bullying and things like that, I don't really stand for that on my channel. So if I see somebody being mean to somebody else or being mean to me, like that comment, it's just not gonna fly on my channel. I want this to be as positive of a space than it can be. So a few things I wanted to say on starting your own channel if you're interested in starting a channel like this or in any niche, it really doesn't matter. First, you should just have a passion for whatever it is that you want to make your channel about. So if it's about home design, finances, real estate, travel, whatever it may be, just make sure that you do have a passion for it. Because initially, there's not really going to be any monetary rewards. There's not going to be any accolades. You're really just doing this for yourself as a creative outlet, and that is what I think you should focus on. Do you need expensive equipment or a giant purse collection? No. In fact, I don't think you need to own a single handbag if what you want to do is start a channel about luxury or handbags. You just need the passion to talk about it. I mean, there are tons of content ideas that you can come up with without actually owning a bag to start a channel. You also don't need a ton of equipment. You really just need your phone. Your phone has video capabilities. I would recommend maybe getting a tripod because that just makes it easier on you for your framing and things like that. But yeah, I just have a camera that I use. I'll link that down below, but it's a Sony camera. I have a ring light, and some of these things were actually things that I already owned because, you know, especially during the pandemic, a lot of acting auditions became self-tape. So I had a lot of this equipment already, but you know, if I didn't, I would have just started with my phone. Some of the things that I have learned over the past year, and granted, I'm still very small, I'm not an expert by any means, but some of the things that I have learned from other channels, and there are tons of videos on YouTube that give advice and tips on how to help grow your channel, make your videos better, is number one, your content is going to be the most important thing. Again, your passion, your interests, any knowledge that you have will definitely come through in your videos, and I think that's something that viewers will really appreciate. After that, thumbnails are also very important. It's the first thing that people are going to see of your video, and so you want to kind of create something that is eye-catching, interesting, something that might draw in the viewer, and this is something that I'm still learning. I think it's a big learning curve. YouTube analytics will show you what thumbnails are working better than others. And so I've taken like the last year to really play around with my videos, with my thumbnails, and see what works for me. My next tip would be to stay focused on the niche or theme of your channel. The more all over the place you get, the harder I think it is for YouTube to know who to suggest your videos to. So as long as you stay within a certain space, I think your channel might have more growth potential and YouTube will suggest your videos more. Another small tip would be just pay attention to your background. I don't have the most elaborate, gorgeous background. I mean, there are some people that have these spectacular closets, these spectacular setups, and that's not something that I have. But I do think it's important to be aware of what's in your background. Maybe there's something in your background that really distracts from you and what you're talking about. For example, if I was sitting in front of a huge pile of laundry, I think you guys would look more at my unfolded clothes than you would listen to whatever it is I'm saying about a specific handbag. Now, say you have a home channel or a lifestyle channel, something based on family, whatever, then maybe that laundry pile is relevant to the video that you're posting. But in my case, it wouldn't. It would just be distracting. So be aware of what's in your background and what could take away from your video. And then finally, my last piece of advice, if you're really interested in starting a channel, I would say just make that first leap. That first step is always the hardest step in anything that you do in life. So if you just go for it. That first step will put everything else into motion. To wrap this video up, I just wanted to set some goals and intentions for myself and let you guys know what those are. So my first goal is to, of course, up my subscriber count. I think that's probably any YouTuber's goal. Right now I have a lot of returning viewers that aren't subscribed to my channel, so it would be really nice if I could retain more of those viewers as subscribers. At some point next year, I would also like to update my background. So right now I have my Christmas holiday background because we are in November and December. But moving into the new year, I would like to have another background at some point, maybe not at first, maybe not in the early part of the year, but at some point I would like to update my background. Of course, improving my videos, their quality, their content, things like that, that's always something that I will continuously be working on. And then at some point it would be really nice to get a sponsorship. I think if I get a sponsorship, I'll feel like I really made it in the YouTube space and would be a great personal goal for me. If you guys have any questions about starting a luxury channel or maybe a channel in another niche, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. Of course, like I said, I'm still very new to this. It's just my first year, so I'm not an expert by any means, and I would highly suggest watching a lot of YouTube videos on content creation if this is something that you're serious about doing. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!